Hi, I'm Kelsey Hudson, Teen Librarian at Middleton Public Library. In this video, I'm going to be showing you our Summer 2021 Teen Mystery recommendations. First book is Our Last Echoes by Kate Alice Marshall. This is a supernatural mystery that takes place on an island called Bitter Rock, Alaska, fictional. And the main character, Sophia, is a young woman who has some mysteries in her own life. She has a memory of herself drowning, despite the fact that she's never lived near the water. And also, she thinks her mom died in the hospital when she was a younger kid, but she doesn't remember if that's true. So she heads to Bitter Rock, Alaska, because she knows that everything is somehow tied to that island in kind of a fake internship at a avian research center. And then as she's faking her way in through this internship, she's also investigating on the side what happened to her on this island and if her mother was ever at this island. So the whole story is written like you are going through a case file. It's really fun because there are transcripts, there are emails. So if you like to read stories where you feel like you are reading something true and kind of doing the detective work yourself, you'll like the format of this book. And then there are also so many supernatural, time-altering twists that this is one of those books where you'll really have to pay attention while you're reading so you can feel like you're taking an active part in trying to solve this mystery, but there are some twists and turns that you will definitely not see coming. And that is Our Last Echoes by Kate Alice Marshall. The next book is a really fun one. This one is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And this book is pitched as the movie Knives Out and the book series Truly Devious. It's very true. The main character, Avery Grams, is a normal high school student just trying to figure out how she's going to pay for college when she finds out that, whoops, she has been named as the heir to Tobias Hawthorne's billion-dollar inheritance. Avery doesn't know Tobias at all, has never met him, is not related to him. And so she's quite confused when she inherits this money. And she finds out quickly that it's not the best time to inherit billions of dollars, especially when there are people trying to take that money away from you. And those people are Tobias Hawthorne's 4 grandsons. So part of the condition of Tobias Hawthorne's will is that she has to live in his house with his 4 grandsons for a year, and then she'll inherit the money. But things are complicated, especially with 2 of the grandsons. There's Grayson, who is the actual heir to the money, and then Jameson, who is kind of a mysterious figure who is treating this a little bit too much like a game. So they have to work together in order to solve these puzzles. And then, of course, there's a little bit of a love triangle going on between them. This is the first book in a series, and it is just super, super fun, especially if you love old houses like I do. And that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. The next book is The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. And I personally really, really loved this book. This is a great book. This is a mystery set in the UP, set in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and it takes place in the Ojibwe community. The main character, Adonis, is an 18-year-old who's just graduated from high school. She was a hockey player. Now she's trying to figure out how she can make her dream of being a doctor come true. And she's also dealing with the violence and the drug use that are kind of tearing through her community. And it becomes especially personal when Donis is at an event and her best friend, Lily, is murdered right in front of her. So Donis also has met a new member of the community. His name is Jamie, but Jamie is not what he seems. He's actually an undercover cop who is also trying to figure out where all of this meth and violence is coming from. And so the 2 of them team up, pretend to be a couple, and start investigating together. They know that somehow it is tied to hockey. So there's lots of hockey in this book if you're a hockey fan. And they also deal with the fact that Donis has been a member of this community her whole life and has close family relationships to a lot of people. But unfortunately, throughout the story, those people show themselves to not be quite who Donis thought they were. So very emotional book, but just so good, so powerful. And Donis really blends her kind of scientific background of loving medicine and loving science with the spirituality of being an Ojibwe woman, which was really, really awesome. And that is The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. And the last book is The Forest of Stolen Girls. This is by June Her. And June Her writes really great mysteries set in unique locations and time periods. So this is set in Joseon, Korea in 1426. This story is about two sisters who, when they were children, they were found sleeping at a crime scene, and no one quite knows what they were doing there or what happened to them. They have the memory of like a white face, and that's all that they remember. So in order to distance themselves from this trauma, they move with their parents away from this town, try to move on with their lives. But unfortunately, 13 women go missing back in their hometown. So they come back with their father, who's a detective, in order to solve both what's happening right now with the 13 women missing, and then also what happened to them as children. And there are all sorts of truths brought to light, including the reality of the relationship between the two sisters, which is particularly interesting. And so if you want to try a mystery set in a time period that is not often written about, try The Forest of Stolen Girls by June Her. If you're looking for more book recommendations, you can visit our website. You can fill out a Librarian's Choice form request and I will pull books for you, or feel free to email me at khudson@midlibrary.org.